On that night, distinct from all others, I found myself washing the dishes, relishing the unusual quiet that enveloped the room while my husband stepped out. Suddenly, I sensed a warm breath right behind me. I was unaware of the door's creak. No sound of footsteps, only him. There, looming so near. Is that my husband's friend? Silence enveloped him, words unspoken. He remained distant, yet his presence enveloped me, the silence lingering like a heavy fog. Then he leaned in closer and murmured, "You felt it too, didn't you?" I could have walked away, yet I remained rooted in place. And that was the instant when everything transformed. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Emma Carter, a 32-year-old resident of a quaint little house nestled in the heart of Brooklyn, New York, where I share my life with my husband, Daniel. The kitchen radiated a cozy warmth, illuminated by the pendant light hanging gracefully above the sink. The gentle sound of running water accompanied me as I submerged my hands in the soothing, soapy liquid, a wave of comfort enveloping my fingers. Tonight, an unusual stillness enveloped the world, a rare hush that seldom graced my ears. Daniel had just departed, mentioning he would swing by the grocery store on Atlantic Avenue to gather a few essentials for breakfast in the morning. I simply nodded in response and carried on with the rest of the dishes. This time brought me joy nonetheless. In those moments when the house belonged solely to me, there was no clamor of television, no endless conversations, just a serene silence enveloping the space, accompanied by the gentle, rhythmic flow of water. With a deep breath, I released a sigh of relief, allowing the comforting warmth of the water to envelop my skin, easing the day's aches and pains. My movements flowed with a rhythm, taking on a meditative quality. Lift the plate, give it a thorough scrub, rinse it beneath the flowing faucet, and set it gently on the rack. Say it again. A tranquil and uncomplicated flow unfolds. Beyond the window, the streetlights painted a soft, golden hue on the slick pavement, sending delicate yellow streaks dancing across the glass. In the distance, the sound of honking horns reverberated through the bustling street, a constant reminder that the city was alive and restless, never truly at rest. I shut my eyes briefly, relishing the final whisper of silence before Daniel reappeared, before the rhythm of life began anew. Yet, in that moment of solitude, a sudden chill slithered down my spine, awakening a sense of unease. I hadn't noticed the door creak open, yet an unnameable sensation washed over me, causing me to pause for a heartbeat. A presence loomed just behind me. My body grew rigid. A whisper of intuition nudged me, revealing the presence of someone lurking just behind me. My breath caught in my throat as a scent enveloped me, the delicate aroma of sandalwood and tobacco weaving through the air. So well known. The moment I sensed their presence, I knew without a doubt who it was. No need to glance back. Once upon a time, I was a character named Lucas Hale, Daniel's closest companion from their college days. I gripped the slick plate tightly in my hand, striving to maintain my composure. Perhaps I'm simply letting my emotions run wild. Perhaps Lucas simply paid a visit. Perhaps he simply wished to greet you. Yet, if that were true, why did his footsteps elude my ears? What was it about his presence that made the warmth of his body press so intimately against my back? I inhaled deeply, steadying my voice to keep it composed. "What brings you here, Lucas?" A gentle, muted laugh brushed against the nape of my neck. A chill coursed through me. "I simply wish to gaze upon you." I furrowed my brow. The response lingered in ambiguity, shrouded in uncertainty. I kept scrubbing the dishes, attempting to ignore the rhythm of his breaths and the subtlety of his movements. Yet, the silence that lingered between us felt heavy and uneasy. It was heavy, thick, like an unseen thread drawing the very air around us taut. Those captivating eyes, I didn't dare to glance, yet I sensed it, akin to a keen edge gliding over my flesh. It's quite intriguing how you've entered the room with such a serene presence. I endeavored to maintain a steady tone, yet even I could detect the tension woven through it. I didn't want to intrude upon your time. Each word dripped with a subtle irony, weaving a tapestry of unspoken wit. I bit my lip, gripping the edge of the sink, feeling the tension rise within me. The water flowed on, yet its warmth had slipped away from my senses. Lucas moved with a subtle grace, a subtle shift, yet it was enough for me to sense that the space between us had transformed. He approached with measured steps. I tilted my head slightly, just enough to glimpse his figure in my peripheral vision. The soft, golden glow emanating from the kitchen. The lamp illuminated Lucas' face, casting sharp shadows that danced around him. His gaze was fixed upon me. Darkness envelops the scene, quiet as the night sky, brimming with an enigmatic essence. And then, a slow smirk tugged at the corners of his lips, as if he held a secret just out of reach. I did not. I tightened my grip. A tangle of discomfort called within me, a subtle whisper echoing in the depths of my thoughts. This did not resonate with me. The way Lucas was gazing at me sent a shiver down my spine. He stood too close for comfort, and it made me uneasy. The kitchen was suffocated by a heavy, oppressive atmosphere that I found unappealing. I took a moment to steady myself, focusing on my breath as I prepared to speak. "Where has my husband gone?" I inquired. My voice dances like a gentle breeze, yet the tension lingered in every word spoken. With a casual shrug and a lingering smile, Lucas embraced the moment. "Are you still out there?" He paused, tilted his head, and considered that you might need someone to share the moment with. A tightness gripped my stomach. It wasn't merely the words that flowed from his lips, but the enchanting manner in which he delivered them. As if he possessed an intimate understanding of the impact each word would have on my very being. As if he were putting me to the test. I took a deep breath, attempting to ease the tension within me. I stand alone, self-sufficient and resolute. As I stand at the sink, the warm water cascades over the dishes, each one telling its own tale of meals shared and moments cherished. My voice carried a bit more weight. Lucas rested against the counter, with his arms folded across his chest. He stood there, a figure of contemplation. His gaze remained fixed on me, unwavering. Is this the level of dedication you bring to your work all the time? I mustered a smile, striving to maintain a sense of lightness in the air. After the feast, a brave soul must rise to restore order in the kitchen. Yet, Lucas remained without a smile. He tilted his head, his gaze meandering over my face, as if he were weighing something profound. It seems that Daniel may not fully recognize your worth. I stood still, caught in the moment. I pivoted my gaze fully, locking eyes with him. "What is this?" Lucas paused, the silence stretching out before him. He gazed at me, his eyes deep and penetrating, as if he were on a quest to uncover something hidden within me. As he spoke, his voice dipped, carrying an undercurrent of sharpness that lay just beneath the surface. "He often lets you wander in solitude." The atmosphere in the kitchen was heavy, almost palpable. I clutched the sink handle, striving to maintain a steady breath. This was a threshold, a delicate threshold that had just been stretched to its breaking point. A palpable sensation lingered in the atmosphere, and Lucas, he was aware of it as well. I turned back to the sink, attempting to push aside the tension that wound tightly in my chest. The water flowed quietly, a gentle reminder of its ceaseless journey. The gentle hum, a soft reminder of my presence, enveloped me in my own kitchen, where worries faded away. Simply a casual exchange of words. Only Lucas. Yet the feeling was impossible to overlook. The sensation of his presence lingering just behind me, uncomfortably close. He shifted once more, maintaining a distance that kept his hands from brushing against me, yet his warmth lingered in the air, seeping through the delicate fabric of my shirt. Subtle, yet undeniably present. I tightened my jaw. A part of me longed to pivot, to confront him directly, to convey unmistakably that it was time for him to go. Yet, a different voice within me, one that resonated with a darker truth, urged me to remain still. For if I shifted my position, if my gaze met his, I would be compelled to acknowledge a truth within me. I was uncertain about which outcome would be more dire. After a lengthy pause, Lucas's voice finally broke the silence. It would be wise to reconsider your actions. His voice flowed like a gentle river, each word deliberately selected to settle softly in the air between us, carrying an unseen gravity. I stood still, caught in the moment. Halt, what is it that you seek to pause? I endeavored to maintain a calm and unwavering tone. Yet, it lacked the unwavering rhythm it once had. Lucas paused, his response lingering in the air. I sensed his gaze tracing the curve of my neck, pondering something unspoken. Then he stepped back, pausing for a moment to gather his thoughts. The abrupt separation felt oddly unsettling. Very well, he replied, his tone a mystery. Until we meet again. I let out a breath, unaware that I had been holding it all along. The sound of his footsteps reverberated softly through the stillness of the house. In the blink of an eye, the front door softly clicked shut. He had vanished into the ether. I found myself standing there, captivated by the water cascading into the sink, as I worked to calm my breath. Yet, no matter the effort I exerted, the essence of his presence lingered on, and I sensed, deep within, that this wouldn't be the final moment. I felt his presence lingering behind me. Once upon a time, there was a character known simply as me. I tightened my grip. A peculiar sensation surged within my chest, a sensation that danced on the edge of trepidation, yet remained just shy of comfort. It seemed like the end had come. I made a mistake. A short while later, the sound of footsteps reached my ears, leisurely, wary, returning once more. I twirled, my heart pounding with excitement. A part of me yearned to catch a glimpse of Daniel. Perhaps he had left something behind and returned to retrieve it. Alas, that is not the case. It was Lucas. He lingered in the doorway, his tail, a towering silhouette looms, stretching its shadow across the ground. His gaze remained fixed on me, steadfast, without a moment's pause. None at all. I took a deep breath. What brings you to this place still? Lucas hesitated before responding. He entered with a forceful stride, the door crashing shut behind him. Gradually, with intention. I recalled at the nose. Lucas inclined his head, a gesture filled with curiosity. His gaze, shrouded in shadows, his tail, whispers soft yet laced with peril. It seems you've overlooked something. The kitchen seemed to shrink around me, its walls closing in with an unexpected intimacy, overwhelmingly confined. I felt the urge to flee at that very moment, yet my feet remained still. It is time for you to embark on your journey, Lucas. My voice resonated with a newfound strength. Yet, I found myself not in that place. Indeed, if it possessed the power to send him fleeing, a gentle smile unfurled upon his lips. Not precisely joyful, but rather laid back and wise. Do you sense it as well, Emma? I inhaled deeply, feeling the line between us utterly fade away. With a measured stride, Lucas drew nearer, gradually, talons, until there lingered but a breath between us. He confides in you, he murmured. His breath brushed against my cheek, perhaps in excess. I clutched the edge of the counter tightly. My grip was loosening. The atmosphere surrounding us was laden with the weight of an unspoken mystery. I sensed Lucas's hand graze my arm, a fleeting touch that lingered in the air, a gentle caress. Yet, it was sufficient to send a thrill of energy coursing through my spine. I ought to have turned him aside. I ought to have spoken up. Instead, I remained motionless. His lips lingered tantalizingly close to mine, anticipating, and then, the tale unfolds, the gentle rumble of a car gliding into the driveway, a familiar arrival echoing through the air. The truth crashed down like a frigid cascade, jolting the senses away. I stood still, caught in the moment. Indeed, Lucas did. We both came to understand the narrow escape we had just experienced. I gently distanced myself from him, gasping for air. Depart. At once, Lucas gazed at me, his eyes lingering for what felt like an eternity. His gaze was shrouded in shadows. Yet, he remained silent. He retreated, begone. One final glance. Then he vanished through the back door. My hands trembled as I pressed them to my chest, seeking to calm the wild rhythm of my heart. Moments later, the front door swung open. Daniel strolled in, blissfully ignorant of the events that had unfolded. Darling, I have all that we require. I inhaled deeply, compelling myself to pivot, concealing all that had just unfolded. With a gentle thud, Daniel placed the bags upon the counter. A moment of pause hanging in the air. He encircled my waist with his arms and placed a gentle kiss upon my temple. Are you all right? You appear to be a bit rosy. Cheeked. I gulped, nodding eagerly. Indeed, it seems to be merely the steam. Daniel chuckled with delight. My dear friend, I caution you against the perils of pushing yourself too hard. I attempted to join in the laughter. As I assisted him in unpacking, the memory of his touch still danced upon my skin, a haunting presence that refused to fade. One would think relief would wash over me. Rather, I was aware this is merely the beginning of a new chapter. We stand at the threshold of a grand adventure. As I assisted Daniel in unpacking the groceries, I focused on regulating my breath. My heart raced, pounding with an intensity that felt almost otherworldly. Each time my hands brushed against a cold cardboard box or the sleek surface of a milk bottle, I recoiled, as if those objects might dissolve the delicate shell I was striving to maintain. Daniel remained blissfully unaware of anything out of the ordinary. He chuckled at a thought that danced in his mind. Perhaps it's the newcomers next door, or a tale he stumbled upon on the radio during his drive. I nodded, a soft chuckle escaping me at just the right moments. Yet, my thoughts lingered on the events that had just unfolded. Once upon a time, there was a character named Lucas. His quietude, his essence, he stood there, so close, as if the world around them faded away. His gaze captured mine, a knowing intensity that suggested he understood my reactions even before I was aware of them. And worst of all, the manner in which my body had turned against me. Nothing had transpired. Not quite. I had distanced myself from him. I had urged him to leave. But what if Daniel's car hadn't appeared at that very moment? What if I had no reason to pause? The notion sent a shiver through my core. I preferred to let it linger in the shadows of my mind. Yet, it lingered within me, permeating every nook of my thoughts like a mark that could never be erased. Daniel enveloped me in a warm embrace from behind, his chin gently resting on my shoulder. Are you truly all right? I paused for a heartbeat, then surrendered to the warmth of his embrace. Indeed, feeling a bit weary. With a gentle kiss on my neck, Daniel turned away, returning to the task of placing the items in the fridge. I stood there, observing him as he meticulously organized everything, utterly unaware of my presence. He placed his trust in me. He had faith in Lucas. I bit my lip, guilt swelling within me like an unstoppable tide. I acted with integrity, but would that still hold true if a tiny piece of my heart hadn't yearned for Lucas to stay in that moment? Words eluded me. In the days that unfolded, I sought to erase every memory. I wove a tale where it simply did not exist, as if the gentle caress on my wrist was merely a figment of my imagination. As Lucas' breath lingered tantalizingly close to my lips, the thrill of danger enveloped me, igniting a spark of excitement that was impossible to ignore. Yet, truth was, I found myself unable to do so. Before my eyes could catch sight of him, I sensed his presence enveloping me. He had an uncanny ability to read my thoughts. The weight of it all rendered him unforgettable. lingering in the corners of my thoughts. And Lucas made sure I would always remember. He simply would not. Silence reigns. Yet, that only deepened my sense of unease. Each time I stepped into the grocery store, an unsettling sensation washed over me, as if unseen eyes were tracking my every move. Each time I strolled by the coffee shop close to my home, an uncanny sensor, as if a pair of eyes were silently observing me from the other side of the street. And one night, as I stood in the kitchen pouring water, a presence enveloped me before I even laid eyes on him. My heart plummeted. I was aware of his whereabouts. I gazed upward and beheld Lucas, standing just beyond the kitchen window, shrouded in darkness. The street lights cast a soft glow, revealing the faint contours of his face in the dimness. His gaze was keen. The edges of his lips curled ever so gently upwards. It was as if he possessed an uncanny understanding of my emotions in that very moment.